Alright guys, and I have another battle here for you today, and this one is with DrLatbc, another viewer on my stream, and he requested a random match, which if you don't know, it's kind of like roulette, well, in the Pokemon Showdown world. Basically you get a team of 6 random Pokemon. They're somewhat randomly generated, but yeah. Anyway, so it decides to give me a Honchkrow, and it gives him a Mewtwo, which of course is always going to be a pain in the neck, although I do kind of predict him switching, because obviously he does not want to take a dark move like Sucker Punch, so I just go for the sub, and he ends up switching out, so ends up being a pretty good play for me, and yeah, I'm just going to get some damage on the Marowak, although I do not feel great about the matchup, so I go out into Skarmory. He ended up going for Earthquake, so that's great for me. Obviously, it's not going to do anything to a Flying type. And now he just goes out in a Charizard, which I reply with Stealth Rocks. It would have been nice to get those Stealth Rocks up a turn sooner, but oh well. I go into Kabutops now, he goes for a Dragon Dance, and at this point I'm thinking, wait, is this going to be a Mega Evolution? And he said no, he did not have the Charizardite, or I think it's the Charizardite X, that's the physical, bulky one. And sometimes that's how what you get in random battles. A Dragon Dance Charizard without freaking Mega Evolution, sure, why not? So, yeah, he goes out into Hitmonlee, goes for the knockoff, and he ends up knocking off Skarmory's leftovers. A minor nuisance, to be honest, but whatever. So I go for a Brave Bird, and I figure, you know what? He'll probably switch, but if he doesn't, it'll probably just wreck the Hitmonlee, and I can get damage on something. Ends up going into Swalot, which is going to use Yawn, and yeah, I do not want to go to sleep, obviously, so I am going to switch, and all of that stuff. Anyway, he goes out into Hitmonlee, and yeah, I'm just going to switch out into Groudon, which is my Uber, and yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So he goes out back into Marowak now, and that's kind of okay. I go for a Rock Polish because it's a Rock Polish set, and now I'm just going to go for the Earthquake. However, he does a lot more with his Earthquake than I do with mine, thanks to Bone Club, and because of Bone Club, which gives Marowak like a billion attack, plus my Groudon is only level 70, due to the fact that random battles are scaled, depending on how strong the Pokemon is, the levels are. Anyway, he goes back into Swalot as I go out into Skarmory. I do have Stealth Rocks up, and I just decided to go for the Whirlwind just to get some Stealth Rock damage, and he goes back into Hitmonlee. As I just go for a Brave Bird just to get more damage on something, and yeah, he goes back into Swalot, which is I'm okay with, because now it's starting to get down a little bit, and I feel like I can kill it easy. Anyway, so I just continue to go for the Whirlwind, actually, because I thought he would switch out again, maybe, but he doesn't. Yeah, but now I do have to switch because of Yawn, and I go into Honchkrow, and it takes a lot from High Jump Kick, thanks to it just being neutral, thanks to me being a Dark type, as well as a Flying type. But, yeah, that does a lot of damage, and I have to switch back out into Skarmory, as he goes for the knockoff, which doesn't really hurt Skarmory much, considering I already lost my item. But that hit, High Jump Kick certainly does. Look how much damage that does to Skarmory, a Pokemon that's really known for its defense, and, yeah, I do end up killing with Brave Bird, but thanks to the recoil, he will also take me out. So, yeah, he goes out into his, last Pokemon I haven't seen, Parasect, as I just go back into Honchkrow, which is pretty damn awesome for me. I do have Heat Wave on this, which is kind of for the lols. Why would this Honchkrow have Heat Wave? This is obviously a, Moxie Honchkrow. But why not, I guess. So he goes back into Mewtwo, and now he's going to go bulk up. And, yeah, so he has a physical Mewtwo, and it doesn't have that Mewtwoite. What is it? Mewtwoite Y, I think? No, you know what? It's the Mega Mewtwo X. That's the one that is known for the physical bulk. But anyway, I feel kind of trapped now by this Mewtwo. I really don't have anything to counter it. I go into Wormadam just because I have Toxic on it, and I figure, okay, maybe if I can just Toxic the Mewtwo, it will, well, it won't be that much of a problem, I guess. But yeah, I go back into Honchkrow now, and I just keep going for the Sucker Punch, although I'm running out of Sucker Punch PP. I just don't want him to attack me, and maybe get some poison damage off on him, although he does have Recover, which makes it a little bit more annoying. So I go for the Sucker Punch, and I believe this is actually my last one, and I suspect he doesn't know that, because he hasn't been counting, but I hope I can bluff a Sucker Punch again. But I think that was my last one. Maybe I have one more. I don't quite remember. Anyway, so Marowak just goes for the Double Edge, and that's going to murder Groudon on the switch. And now I'm going to go into Dugtrio, hoping that I can kill with Earthquake, but I don't. And, yeah, he's going to get an Earthquake back on me. Thankfully, I do have the Focus Sash, so I can just kill him now, but it would have been kind of nice if I was able to finish it off. Oh, well. Anyway, he goes out into Parasect. As you see, I'm not Choice Scarfed or Banded because I have the Focus Sash, so I just go for the Stone Edge. Although I do miss, and that makes me kind of mad. and he gets off the recover. I think it was recover. Some move like recover. Regardless, he goes for the X-Scissor, which is going to finish me off, although I do crit on my Stone Edge that turn, so that kind of makes up for the miss, although not really. Anyway, so I go back out into Honchkrow, and I'm just going to set up the sub because, yeah, I kind of actually expected him to predict my Heat Wave since I already showed it off, but he doesn't, and he's just going to go for the Aromatherapy and get rid of the Toxic Poison on Mewtwo, which is really bad. So now he's hoping that he can sweep me with Mewtwo. I only have Honchkrow and Kabutops remaining, and that's just not good at all. That is not good at all. So he goes for the Ice Punch, and that is going to break my Honchkrow sub. I just go for the Heat Wave. I actually could have went for the Brave Bird. I don't know why I should have went for the Brave Bird, because it would have been quite damaging with my extra attack. Although I did have one Sucker Punch left. I do go for it. That was my last one. And he's just gonna go for the Bulk Up, and at this point, yeah, I'm just gonna go for the Heat Wave, although I missed that one, and I figure, okay, at this point, he has defense up, so I'm going to try to get the burn. I figure burn is maybe my only chance to win. Once again, I probably should have went with the Brave Bird earlier since I had that bonus attack, but I don't know why I didn't, to be honest. I might have thought that he was going to bulk up first turn or something like that. Anyway, I do end up getting the burn with the Heat Wave, which is pretty much required for me to win. He goes for the Ice Punch, and that is going to not quite kill Honchkrow thanks to the burn having his attack. And that is pretty awesome. And he's just going for the recover. Obviously, he does not want to be in a situation that Mewtwo is at low life. He's hoping he can still stall me out with recover and get to a point that he can kill my Kabutops. And my Kabutops obviously won't be able to kill him with, you know, Aqua Jet or something. So I go back into my Kabutops, hoping he can't one-hit KO me, and he can't. Zen Headbutt doesn't quite do it thanks to the burn. I go for the knockoff, which is super effective, and I do have the Aqua Jet. However, thanks to my Life Orb, I'm going to get KO'd, and yeah, that is a loss, according to Self-KO Clause. Even though it says I won for some reason, I don't know how Showdown determines that. Typically, I played by, you know, the Explosion Clause or the Self-KO Clause. Basically, if you're in control of the effect that caused the tie, you lose. And that kind of applies to Life Orb, in my opinion. So I consider that a loss. It was still a very good game. DrLatbc, 2 ties in a row being posted on YouTube. What are the odds? Well, ties. But like I said, I don't view games as a tie in Pokemon. But I mean technical ties. I don't even know what you want to call it. Anyway, today's question of the day is I already asked about which Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire game you're going to get. Well, now it is just a few days away from release. So, what starter Pokemon are you planning to get in Omega Ruby and the Alpha Sapphire? As you know, there are now Mega Evolutions for Swampert and, goddammit, Sceptile. So, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. I think I'm probably going to go with Sceptile because now I'm thinking against myself again because I really, really, really prefer Torchic, but I think I really like Sceptile's Mega Evolution. Grass Dragon is pretty awesome. I'm probably going to try that out in my personal first playthrough of Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So leave a comment about which starter you're going to start with in your first game. I mean, I know a lot of you guys are getting both, apparently, according to my previous video, but yeah, whatever game you're going to be your main, your first playthrough, what starter you picking, who you got, yo. Alright, see you later, y'all.